Hey there, hi there, ho there, fun food fans. It's Karen Ricks, head chef of our kitchen classroom. And as I've been telling you about in our Play with Our Food community all week long, probably like the past 2 weeks now, we've really been talking about nothing but cookies, 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 right? So, because you guys have been asking more and more details, I wanted to just put up this quick video to share with you a little bit about some of the cookies that we've been making here in our kitchen classroom. We've got loads and loads and loads of cookies, and we're going to be experimenting today with a variety of new to us local flavors. Well, at least two of the three are new to us. All right, so come on down. I want to take you to take a look at some of what we've got here today. Okay, can you see that cookie tray? Look at all those cookies. Okay, so we've been making a lot of basic sugar cookies and using a variety of different cookie cutters and styles. We've been cutting out lots of different shapes. So we've got this beautiful little heart with a little Star of David cut out. And this particular cookie dough was infused with mandarin orange and rosemary. And then we used a paintbrush on the top to brush an orange glaze over that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, and this was one of our really super simple sugar vanilla cookies. And we used our royal icing to pipe an outer edge using a piping bag, and then a lighter royal icing, a really simple glaze to fill and flood the cookie to make this cute little stocking. That's been so much fun. And these are the kinds of cookies we like to give away most as gifts. And this is one of our basic just cut out sugar cookies. This particular dough was infused with freshly grated nutmeg. And if you watched, I think it was last week's video, gosh, maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, when our little Sue was showing you how to grate nutmeg, fresh nutmeg from that little nut. That was exactly the flavor that we really wanted to infuse into this present-shaped sugar cookie. Well, today I promised you we'd be experimenting with some new flavors, and so we have trotted out a couple of new cutouts. You can see this is actually 2 sugar cookies. They're both the same thickness, but we have cut one smaller circle out of the larger circle, and so you can see they fit perfectly right on top of one another. And we're going to use these to decorate our special sandwich cookies. And I'll show you the sandwich fillings that we're going to put in just a moment. So over here, we've got some circles that we'll use for one flavor. And over here, we have some hearts in that same cutout that we're going to infuse as well. And then the very last ones, we're going to top with a simple curd. And so we've got some more of these present-shaped cutout sugar cookies. All right, so now I want to introduce you to some of the special flavors that we're going to be using. First up, you can see this super, super dark jar here is actually an incredible new product that we've discovered that's a lot like molasses. It's called pekmez mani, and it is a special sort of sugary molasses that's made from natural fruits. This particular one is made from blackberries, raspberries, and what's the other one? It looks like blackberries and raspberries, but they're kind of white, green. Oh, the name escapes me now. Okay, anyway, this molasses, you can see how beautifully it coats the bowl of the spoon here. We're just going to drizzle that right on top of one of our sandwich cookies. The second one, this one is called recel mare in Albanian. The Latin name for the fruit is arbutus, and you may have seen it translated as a strawberry tree fruit. It looks an awful lot like kind of a cross between a lychee, maybe, and an orange raspberry or something, the fruit itself. But this particular fruit, if you saw our video last spring from Mrizi Zanave, the agriturismo, this is one of the special jams that they make there, which is just a little over an hour north of us here in Tirana. in Albania. So this beautiful fruit jam comes from just a little ways north of us. And then the very last one, something else we've been playing with here. This is a passion fruit curd. We just whipped this up over here in the kitchen a little bit ago and set it in the freezer to chill so it would firm up a bit more. And we're going to dollop some of these onto our presents, okay? But the special technique here today is on the sandwich cookies. And we're going to start off while they're layered just like this and covering them with a little bit of powdered sugar. I literally just took about 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar into this tiny little teaspoon strainer. We use this for straining teas and other fine things. And all it takes is a little tap of the fingers here, and it showers the cookies with powdered sugar. Now, this is a great activity for young hands to get involved in your kitchen. And one of the reasons that this is going to be so helpful here on these cookies, not only is the powdered sugar going to cover the cookies and give them a nice little snowy dusting, but it's also going to help absorb some of the moisture if you have a very natural and maybe wet jam like what we do here. So we're just going to coat all the top of the framed cookie and a little bit of the base right in the center of our bottom layer in the sandwich cookies. And what that's going to do is also tell us exactly where we want to put our filling when it's time to layer up our sandwich cookie. Okay, so there we go. We've got a dusting of powdered sugar on all of these here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on the presents too. Our passion fruit curd is not as wet. I could let it cool a little bit longer because this one's freshly made. Honestly, it's better if you make it at least a day in advance and then you leave it to refrigerate overnight so that you have it set as much as possible. Okay, so we'll set the powdered sugar aside, and you can see our cookies are nicely showered in that snowy icing. I'm just going to gently remove the top layer and set it aside, and you can see there's a perfect little circle of powdered sugar right there in the middle. That is where we want to dollop our layer of fruit filling. So we're going to remove the circles and remove the hearts. Here we go. Let's start with the pekmezmani, our little molasses. And I'm really just going to take a tiny little drizzle here. This is so naturally sweet. We're going to fill that circle and then give it an extra little drizzle around the outer edge to help the sandwich cookie hold together. All right, and we're going to do this on 2 more. And again, you can see we're doing this on a sheet tray on waxed paper or on baking paper. And this is another wonderful way to get those little hands involved in the process, because it doesn't matter if you have a little bit of a mess. If it drizzles out off of the cookie or all over around the outside, you're not going to get this mess all over your table, all over a special display plate. You can make these cookies in advance like this, and then you can transfer them to a serving platter or a box if you wanted to give these as gifts. Okay, and so I'm going to drizzle the last of this blackberry molasses right here in the center of this circular sugar cookie. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And it has the most incredibly rich, dark flavor, along with a fruity aroma of blackberries. Oh, that's so much fun. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside. And then we simply replace our little sugar powdered window to go right on top. Boom, just like that. And one more. Oh, that fits so nicely. Okay, and now on the heart, we're going to take our leche al mare, this little strawberry fruit jam. And this one is a little bit more wet, so I'm reaching way down into the bottom of the jar where there's less of the moisture. And then I'm going to dollop it right here on top of the heart. And again, the powdered sugar that we just dusted right in the middle is going to help it stick. It's going to help to absorb a little bit of the wetness, that moisture in the cookie. And it's going to leave a nice little window of fruit there in the center. Okay, another big dollop on there. And then I'm just using the back of the spoon to push it out to the outer edges a little bit more to help that sandwich hold together. And one more from down in the bottom of the jar. Okay, and then our very last, we'll put the hearts right on top. Here's that little sandwich. And just drop it right back in place. Here we go. And one more. Now, I have seen some instructions for making these beautiful little window cookies that tell you to put the powdered sugar on after. And if you have a really wet filling, you can certainly do that. Something like dusting the powdered sugar on top. Again, it will help absorb a little bit more of the moisture here. But by doing it separately, the way that we did, and then putting the window back on top, you have a clearer sort of shine to the jam, or in this case, the molasses, that sparkles through your window. So it's really crystal clear. Okay, the very last one, we're just going to take a little spoonful of our passion fruit curd, and we're just going to dollop it right into the middle of our present. Oh, this one is just so lovely all by itself. I want to just eat it out of here with a spoon. Oh. And you can see we left the seeds in our passion fruit curd. That's going to add a completely different layer of texture, a wonderful little surprising crunch to the top of our cookie. And there we go. 3 different of the fun, flavorful cookies that we've been playing with here in our kitchen classroom in this December as we get ready to wrap up 2019. Shall we have a taste? Let's see. Okay, let's start with the arbutus jam. That one's going to be the lightest in flavor. You can see this wonderful little sandwich. Oh, the way that the jam shines beautifully through that window. Just give it a little taste. The flavor is so mild, but it has a wonderful kind of tart sourness to it that balances beautifully with the soft texture of the sugar cookie. Okay, got to do a little palate cleanser here with my ginger tea. Oh, that is so warming. We drink so much ginger tea in the winter months. Okay, next up, our blackberry molasses. Woo-hoo. Look again. Doesn't it have a glorious, shiny little window there? Oh. I know many people think of molasses, and for me, the first thing that comes to mind is the dark richness of a gingerbread. This has that same sweet, rich depth of flavor. But it's fruity, which is such a wonderfully pleasant surprise. Oh, I love that. Okay, and last but not least, our passion fruit. Oh, there was a reason I saved that for last. Oh, there's a little crunch of the passion fruit seeds, but the tanginess of the citrus in that fruit just provides such a wonderful, bright contrast to the soft, chewy sweetness of the sugar cookies. Oh, these are all so delicious. I would love to see you guys making some of these beautiful variations on the simple sugar cookie this Christmas season. And be sure to post your photos in our Play with Your Food community so we can see all of your beautiful and delicious creations as well. We can't wait to see all the deliciousness that you're coming up with in your kitchen classroom this holiday season. We'll see you again in the next video. Take care.